Sunday salutations, folks. We're here. We're primed. Somebody's phone's going off and totally distracted me, but I don't care. And it's Audio Who. And tonight we've gathered to sit back and take a wee trip to a little motel in the late 70s. Or was it the 80s? What year? There it goes again.
I'm turning it off, sorry.
We'll be right back after Phil's messages. Okay, yeah, so we're in the 80s, and Paul McGanns, the Doctor, and Shredan Smiths and Lucie Miller take a wee trek to visit Lucie's Aunty Pat, as she and her husband Trevor run the local motel. But things are not always as they seem. And if I go to one more time, I'm going to eject Philip for the call. So yeah, what do we think about this one? How did we feel about the Garrison? How was the countryside setting? How was the whole continuation of the pop charts and the whole music industry, all the way back from the horror of glam rock 10 years prior? Well, you're about to find out, but before we get to that, let's get to this. It's your panel for this evening. And back with us for the first time in a couple of weeks, it's Jason. Jason, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you, mate. NYC's on Mr. Will Medina in the building. How you doing, Will?
Hey now, how you doing, everybody?
Good to have you, man. The very noisy and phone-phorific, waiting on his chicken soup. It's Phil Archer. Phil, how goes it?
I'm sorry about my ding-a-lings, but there you go.
Don't mention your ding-a-lings on there, please, Phil. And all the way from the West Coast, it's Sue. Susie, how goes it in Cali today?
Hello from sunny California. It's great, thanks.
Excellent. And down in the nutsack, fresh out of hell, he's so close that Tom Ellis is his next door neighbour. It's Texas Tom Wells. How are we doing, Tim?
Hello from sweaty Corpus Christi.
Good to have you, man. And you all know me. I'm the idiot with the speech impediment who likes to drink a lot. But that's neither here nor there. So, guys, the Zygon at 30 Earth. As I say, just over 50 minutes. Somewhat of an environmental slash don't be racist towards aliens type escapade here. As well as, you know, the whole concept of family, I guess, with regards to Lucie Miller's companion. So what did we think of this? Opening thoughts. All right, Tim, the Zygon at Felt Earth, Paul McGann and Shredan Smiths. Go for it, mate.
It's good. It's not bad, but they do get a bit heavy with the environmental message a couple of times, which I think is, you know, it's okay for Doctor Who to do that. It's just maybe not so heavy-handed with it. The story is a bit silly as well. The idea that you can have a Garrison lurking around in the lake is just, and nobody ever sees it. That's kind of, but the cast is good. McGann is excellent as usual. So is Miller. What's her name?
I know you mean Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, Shredan Smiths. What was that? This is written by Paul Mars, and I like his writing for the most part. You know, he wrote the Hornet's Nest for BBC, which I enjoy very much. But this is a bit. I just think it's a bit heavy-handed with the political message, and but it's an enjoyable enough story. It seems like it's just a word-for-word remake almost of the last time we saw the Zygons, which would have been with the Loch Ness monster, right? So,
despite the wee references you try and make you did it, wasn't it? But there we go. Well, what do you reckon? Opening thoughts?
Well, the opening thoughts is I liked it that they did go back to when the 8th Doctor mentioned the adventure that he had as the 4th Doctor, and then another adventure with the Zygon during the 1800s. At least that knows that they had been around for such a while. Even though the story's only an hour long, it goes pretty good. It goes pretty good, and the 8th Doctor had to control Lucie Miller from that big mouth of hers because she revealing a little too much about what's going to happen to her Aunty Pat like that, and not. You can't play with that. He has to, even though later on in the series we know what's going to happen with that, but like after this he has to put his foot down to control that big fat mouth of hers from opening so many times. And the Zygons right here was pretty good. I liked them real good. They were much, even though this is only an audio like that, the story was much better than that first part of the Zygon invasion nonsense from last year. but it's that's why I like it. I like this. I get this high regard. So it's not that. It's a good story.
Yeah, okay, no problem with that. Jason, how about you?
Well, I somewhat enjoyed the story. I mean, first it starts out as this whole music situation going on with the whole radio stuff, and then having, I guess, in a way, a Zygon being a DJ that makes remixes and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I make remixes myself, but I wouldn't be called a Zygon. But how it's all based on like 1984 and Lucie. This is for a story of Healing Hall. Pretty interesting how that's all worked out, especially how she meets up with her aunt again, and then telling her aunt about her future accidentally, and then her aunt gets all flipped out about that. Then having the Zygons taking over with travel and how that all worked place with him. I was wondering, okay, what's going on with this guy here? And then it kept on with the story itself. Lucie being captured, or aunt being captured. Well, in a way, they had to take something out of her that killed her. And
spoiler alert. Okay, continue, mate.
Yeah, so much on it. Definitely a good story, and I'll let the West talk about it.
Okay, mate. Philip, hurry up. You get chicken soup coming. What do you reckon?
Right. I find it's a very funny romp with the Zygon. I do find that, was it Urtak and Mims? I do feel they dumbed down the Zygon in that regard, but it's meant to be a funny little romp anyway, but still. I do like how Lucie's Zygon is pretty much like Graham, a bit of an alcoholic, but there you go.
Ooh, yeah, thank you.
And that's funny. And why is there always a sound nearby, nearby, like how it's very, what's the word?
It's convenient for the story.
Yeah, and at least they got their milkman on the doorstep, so that's good enough. Paul McGanns' Doctor, he's very soft in this, isn't he? He's not very, he's very sort of like Lily, I can't say it. I can't say it, never mind. He's just weak in this.
Lily?
Yeah, Lily-livered, that's it, yeah, he's very Lily-livered in it. So I sometimes wish he would be a bit more beefed up in it. I do like the fact that the way that Aunty Pat's death was played out was kind of sad and very painful to listen to. So that was cool. Overall, good story. And see you later, Aunty Pat. Or shall I say, hello, Aunty Pat. So there you go.
Indeed, very subtle, Phil. Sue, how about you?
Aunty Pat, my character, I felt so connected with her. She was great.
Well, you married a Zygon too?
Oh, heck yes. No, I am a Zygon. No, I'm just kidding. She was interesting, sweet. She had a lot of stuff going on. The other Zygons in the story, the ones that hurt her and that wanted to control her husband, control her reality, control her family, control the doctor, control the whole situation by using those militaristic techniques and hurting her. That was an excellent baddie for the story. Aunty Pat was sweet. I loved the whole 60s music thing. That was incredibly cool. I mean, really cool music, really fun. Well done to Big Finish for the music in this. That was awesome. And then the great Trevor's great transformation at the end. Wonderful to see how that would have happened. And the other thing that's really amazing about this is Lucie Miller. She was engaging. She was excited. She was investigating. She had a great curiosity. She was interested, and she was. Shredan Smiths did wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully as an actress in this, and so I really like Lucie Bleeding Miller.
Okay.
I like her a lot.
Champion.
And so that's all I've got to start with.
All right. My. And how do you follow that? Well, yeah, I'll concur with what you mentioned there with Shredan Smith. She was dynamite in this. You've not only got her as regular Lucie, you've got her as big, bad, pissed off Zygon Lucie, with the mouth and, you know.
The alcohol.
The alcohol, exactly, yeah. How can you go wrong with that? What the hell, man? Stupendous. What Philip mentioned, for me, who was it? Mims, and who was the other one?
Oh, Attack.
Attack. They, you know what? Yeah, I can see what you mean by dumbing them down a wee bit, but no, I'm sorry. When they first showed up at that hotel and they were doing their sleuthing, and they were in human form, they reminded me of Day 2 Agents with a preacher.
Oh, yes, I see you. Yeah.
You know, just trying to get their job done and make a complete bollocks of it, especially the dumb one who's always too forthrightful. You know, we will change your mind, Trevor.
And that's like when you went...
all that camp nonsense about the bunk beds or the single bed or the double bed.
Use that going. Maybe they like to suckers, I don't know. I mean, you know, you never know.
And that's like innuendo. Trevor, we release your 12-inch.
Yeah, they've all got to slip one in there for the adults, you know. But that story's a classic case of a woman meets Zygon, falls in love, gets married, and you're like, okay, there you go. And they run a home, and they go run a motel together. Fair stuff. Paul McGanns' daughter, okay, you said he was lolly-livered, Phil. I would rather use the term softer demeanour in this one. Remember, this was slap bang in the middle of a run where you just had all that carry on with the Cybermen and all that. So, I don't know, maybe it was just a somewhat male before the whole, you know, stuff with the Sisters of the Flame happened later on that season. So, yeah. But I could come with Tim. It's not the best of that season, far from it, but it's only an hour and it's decent enough.
It's jolly.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And you even get throwbacks with the whole, you know, body printing machine and all the rest of it. So, yeah.
And it did it accurate, unlike a certain episode that it screwed up on. There were valleys on the machines.
Yeah.
That's right.
The bit where William mentions the other adventure that took place in the 1800s, I think they're referring to the Lucie book, The Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Yeah, another aped up.
All right, now with the whole debate about why they don't use machines now, hell, whatever, you know, that's neither here nor there in this story.
How is that a screw up, though?
Well, since in the Fourth Doctor and this story, when they want to copy the person specifically, they got the machine connected to them.
Yeah, but how, Will? Didn't they say that the real Trevor's body was dead?
He was like in a dead, not brain dead. That's why they put him in
cryogenic storage.
Cryogenic, put him there.
Oh, so he's still basically functioning, but not functioning.
So to speak, yeah.
That's kind of weird because I thought people need to be alive.
And the end of the story would debunk that because Aunty Pat's dead, and there you go.
Ah, good point. Good point.
He said he was only be able to do it one more time, and it was permanent.
Yeah, that's probably the get out clause. If you do it when the body's dead, you remain in that body, I suppose.
But the question about that is, since he was able to escape from the destruction, can any other of those other Zygons escape too?
Well, yeah, it depends how many was involved.
Remember, you had the two knuckleheads that came in the hotel, and then the female one, Gracchus, who was disguised as Lucie Miller. That was in the ship with him. So maybe all of them or one of the other ones could escape too.
That's a very small ship complement. 3 Zygons. Think about it.
Well, to be fair, this is Big Finish. You can only pay a certain number of cast members per audio. Come on.
True.
No, you guys. Usually there was only one Zygon per capsule.
Is this audio who or the Vicar of Dibley? What the hell? Oh man.
No. No, seriously, there was only one.
One Zygon per capsule. Have you seen the size of that ship in the Tom Baker story? Have you seen the size of that ship? That's not going to.
That's a big ship. Yeah, tell us that was a big ship.
All right. Any events, characters, or incidents within the story that stood out for you, folks? Jason?
Well, there's not very much to dislike on this one. I actually pretty much enjoyed it. Top notch on the whole Zygons, how they evolved, their whole villainy, and especially with Travel, his character is, I mean, he wished his own self in the end. Very interesting character, how the Zygon version of him decided to, I guess in a way, risk his whole Zygon race to turn into a human as Aunty Pat in the end, which top notch for the character on there. Lucie, interesting character, still need to listen more stories with her. The Doctor, always a great performance by him, and Aunty Patty was definitely an interesting character. Isn't much the word to tell besides like the Zygon voices, not much change with that. Everything else, definitely a good story.
Okay, mate. Well, how about you?
Excuse me, sorry. What stood out, of course, you know, in a way, it's a combination because of Lucie Miller and Aunty Pat, because even though to Aunty Pat, Lucie's not born yet. So and then Lucie explained all the stuff, that the good times she had with her like that. So that was a little bit weird that when the real Aunt Pat passed away. So and that's you know that was story wise it was solved because of the you know that the Zygon changed to look like stay as her forever. So that solved that problem. But so that really stood out. Of course, the two knuckleheads, Zygons, who acted like the angels from Preacher like that. They stood out because in a way one needed the other just to do simple stuff like that. Even when the monster came and they I think they were being breastfed by it.
I think one extracted and another one just gave his share by the moonlight.
Yeah, on there like, oh my god, that was pretty funny. This story's not bad. It's pretty funny and certain stuff.
Yeah, okay. Right, Timbo, how about you, mate?
Well, I like the shorter format. I think that this run of episodes, I think that's something Big Finish should do more often rather than sticking to the 4 times 25. I think that this whole McGann series proved that you can do 45 minute to an hour stories and not have too much padding. However, in this story, I think if Philip mentioned it too, is that some things are a little bit too convenient in the writing. I think, like, why the hell would he give that device to his wife to wear, Aunty Pat? Yeah,
well, that's true.
He's going to kill her to remove it. I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever, and it just pretty much hands the bad Zygons what they want when they capture her. And what else was it too? The idea that she can just become Aunty Pat as a Zygon at the end, like you said, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So there's a couple of flukes like that, but at the end of the day, it's an enjoyable listen. That's all that matters. I mean, you guys are just supposed to like leave your brain at the door a little bit and just enjoy the story as it unfolds, which it is very good, especially production-wise. Was mentioned, the music is good. The idea that you're going to remix a pop song from 20 years ago and that's been done before, so that makes it a bit realistic. So it's a fun enough story.
Okay, cool, man. Phil?
I do like the idea that they've utilized the Zygon sting quite a lot in the story, and because you don't really get that in these days, but it was used to good use here, especially when Aunty Pat was screaming away and he's like, this creature is screaming too much, just sting her to sleep or something. And it's kind of cruel, really. And like I said earlier before, I did like Aunty Pat's death scene when Lucie Miller Zygon was ripping that thing from her throat. I thought it was quite horrible but nice at the same time.
Horrible but nice. How about yourself, Philip? Yeah.
Characters that stood out: Lucie Miller, amazing. The Doctor, cool and collected, not lily-livered, not mellow, just cool and collected, Unlike some of the other Eighth Doctor stories where he's forgotten himself, he's totally spastic or he's.
Well, I would say that. We can say that when you go.
And he's got charisma in this. He convinces them to do the right thing, but the baddies, you know, the two soldiers were good foils for the whole story, and I agree that the gift of something that can kill somebody is not really a gift, it's more a curse, and I don't know why Trevor do that.
Okay. Have a drink. And speaking of drink, I will say it was possessed Lucie Miller for this and me, quite obviously. I mean, when she came back for that midnight stroll after being captured at the lakeside and just guzzled a half-gallon of vodka or whatever it was, I got a wee chuckle out of that. I'll show some love for the Scarison. All right, it was basically a big giant cow in this story, but you know, convenient though it might have been, it served its purpose. But yeah, I again, right at the end when Haygarth, aka Trevor, becomes Aunty Pat. Yeah, a Time Lord switches gender, everybody bitches and wails. A Zygon does it, nobody bats a fucking eyelid.
That's different though, come on.
Yeah.
How come in this series the Eighth Doctor theme music was changed?
It's probably because it was on radio and BBC 7 never waived the rights. I don't know. You'd have to check with them.
Yeah.
I thought because this already happening. This story took place. Already the TV series already came back. So that's
the whole series. This whole series has different theme. Has the same theme music. I think they changed it at some point because these were designed to be broadcast on radio.
Yeah.
So,
well, the first 2 seasons were anyway. Yeah.
And they changed it again when Mary Shelley came along. So you know it's going to change here and there.
Well, there you go.
So that was for BBC 4 or BBC 7? What?
One of the two. I can't remember which one. One of the two.
7 originally.
Yeah. So there you go.
I understand. So I'm on the understanding that more than one Zygon ship landed on Earth throughout periodically. So it's kind of weird that no space defense people didn't even see this sort of thing going on.
In the 60s, everybody was high, so you know. I mean,
I suppose so.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, guys. Open mic portion of the cast. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Jason.
Well, I would like to.
Sorry. There you go.
Did Jason have something?
No, you didn't.
I don't.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to point out that because we mentioned Dave Doctor and his character, this is the only Doctor that Big Finish has been able to create his character on an arc from when they picked him up to where he is now, because all the other Doctors they have stories for are stories that fill in the blanks or fill in the timeline of those Doctors. This is a Doctor that they started from where they think he is, and how he's gone on a bit of an arc. The only exception I think is the Mary Shelley stories, which go back to his beginning.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in other words, I wouldn't say lily livered is a fair, accurate description, because he is a bit lighter in this one than he is in some other stories. But you have to give him credit as well, because by the time of Dark Eyes, he's a bit more hardcore, and he's changed a bit. He's grown up a bit, in other words, and we don't even know where they're going to take him with that Time War business. So I mean. In other words, this is the only Doctor that they've written for that's on it, that they've made an arc with, because they're writing him in order, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really say that about the other ones.
Yeah.
As far as Lucie, I mean, everybody's saying how great Lucie is. Really, she's only in the first 10 minutes. She gets thrown in the thing and stays there till the end of the story. So I mean, while Shredan Smith is great in this, and I'm not going to tell anybody they're wrong. There's better stories out there where you get a little bit more of the real Lucie Miller. He's a Zygon for about 45 minutes of it. So
I'd agree with that. I think what people maybe not conveyed right is the fact that again, Shredan Smith props on their acting chops for playing two variations of the same character. So,
I do find that whilst during the time that Lucie's Zygon body is running around the place, the Doctor's very, very thick and very slow on the uptake.
He's letting it play out.
Look, he says to her...
He's noticing it, but it took a while for him to realize it.
I know, but, you know, he's a bit slow on the uptake. There are clues there everywhere, like her drinking gallons of vodka.
Well, can I just say, hang on, maybe he's just enjoying the countryside there. Maybe he's clouded, his judgment's clouded because, you know, he's like, oh, Trevor, yeah, there we go, you've got a Zygon trying to fit in with his inner surroundings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You know. And else, guys?
Yeah.
Well, the actor who played Trevor, wasn't he on a TV show on Blake 7?
What's he called? What's his name?
The character was Del Tarrant.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
The actor's name...
Stephen something.
Stephen Pacey.
Pacey.
Well, there you go.
Was that him? I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah. And oh no, we don't come across her yet until we do some more audios. The woman that plays
Gracchus.
Oh, you mean Karina Olsen, who plays the head?
Yeah, she comes back later. We know that.
She's before this and after this, Phil. You can mention her. You know.
Okay, true. Fair enough.
You know.
Well, I noticed that since there's at the end of the episode, since these were broadcasting, you have the announcements on the end of it. They tell you who is in them. And I've been listening to this whole series, and they use some of the same actors for each story, playing different parts.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to bring up before we get this sucker rated and in the can?
We're all alone. And the song, I like the song as well.
Oh, Fallen Star. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I did like that. That was a nice little touch. Make it sad.
It was a 70s folk, a 60s folk thing. What do you want, man? I mean, All right, guys. Well, if we are done for the evening in terms of going over this little ditty, let's see how highly on the Richter scale that Zygon falling to earth made a dent. It's that time again. I despair, I really do. Well, the Zygon that fell to earth, Paul McGanns and Shredan Smiths. Susie, what do you give us out of 10, dearie?
I like it a lot. I like the first 5 series of the 8th Doctor a lot. So this one I'll give an 8.5.
Champion. Philip.
I'm going to give this a 9. I'm going to give it a 9 because I like it. It tugs on the heart. Yeah, it tugs on the heartstrings where it needs to, and it's a good little romp as well at the same time.
Okay. Timbo.
Yeah, well, it has a couple of issues in the script, I guess, that we discussed. I'm still going to give it an 8 because it's an enjoyable listen and a good run of stories. So I mean, yeah, 8's good for me.
Okay, champion. Thank you very much, Jason. What say you, mate?
I had that slow moment, but it was good and intense. I would get an 8.5.
8.5 for Jason. And over with NYCWA, well, what's the scores on the doors, mate?
I'm gonna give this one an 8. It's a good story. It's funny, and they also solved the time thing up with Aunt Pat, since Lucy knew her years later, and we see in the story she did die. So that solves it once and for all. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay, an 8. And me, I'm gonna shock you. I'm gonna be the host of the bunch here on that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
What?
It's no really anything to do. Again, just you've got a few of those threads on the writing, and they're just a wee bit too heavy with the whole environmental message, like Tim said. Nothing to do with the actors. Hell, nothing to do with the, I'd even say the production. It's just the writing.
It's because the Zygon Lucie Miller didn't drink enough vodka or brandy.
And not one ounce of whiskey was drank out of that hotel minibar. So 7.5 for me, guys. Doesn't make it a bad story. It's only 55 minutes.
Yeah.
55 minutes. You know, it's worth your time, folks. Go give it a listen. Leave some comments and let us know.
Oh yeah.
How you enjoy it. Well, guys, Philip, don't shy. Your chicken soup will be here shortly. Done, dusted, another one in the can. And now we're just going to let you know what we're going to do next week. Next week, we'll be taking another adventure into the Companion Chronicles range with the late Liz Shaw, who's no late because she technically did die. She was on a moon base somewhere in that Sarah Jane Adventures episode with the late Caroline John. Sorry, as we tackle a third Doctor outing and put in the late John Pertwee's stead and a little ditty called of the Bluetooth. Yes, Bud Shaw, Third Doctor, and the Cyberman all come into one big puddles.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
You'll get that joke next year next week when we review the audio, folks. And when one big puddle of a mess, and let's just say, don't go to the dentist after you hear that one as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, bum. I got to see a dentist this week.
I forgot about that.
we look forward to tackling the Bluetooth with you next week, guys. As always, guys, anybody wants to join us, hit any is up. Everyone's more than welcome as ever. Check out our various buddies on YouTube. We have the lads over at Geeks Assembled and their various casts. Go and give them a like. We have Dr. Shredan and his Omega Files and his Daily News broadcast. We have Johnny Blues. We have Sammy Carter. We have Susie there. We TARDIS Blues Radio. We have... who else do we have? Anybody? Jason, you like promoting?
You forgot your part.
Yeah, my channel just got like reaction videos and other random stuff.
There you go. Go check out some of Jason's lame stuff. Give him a like, give him a sub and all the rest of it. And with that, guys, can I thank the panel for your attendance here this evening? And with that, we'll say to you folks, have a great and prosperous week. Be excellent to yourselves and each other. And we'll see you next time. And what the hell? Philip's neighbours arrived with soup. I'm getting the hell on out of here, folks. Adios.
A shout out to Graham's pathologist.
Yes.
Audio who?
Take it easy, guys, and good night.